And we're live. What's up, you guys? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Give me just a second to get this thing back over to where it's going. What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with The Point of Change. Today is a special day because I am starting my experience of broadcasting to more than one platform. If you're on YouTube and you have seen my videos that I posted on YouTube a while back, I think I posted them about a year ago. I posted 4 or 5 videos on YouTube that I made on Facebook. Those were some of my original videos, man. I was still living on my buddy's couch. I was very fresh in recovery. I'm just fresh out of a 13-year meth addiction. Good morning, guys. Got some people jumping on. Give me some likes. Give me some loves. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, check out my page. I love you guys. Thank you guys for continuing to watch me on this journey. This has been awesome. If you're on YouTube, guys, I have been doing videos on Facebook for almost 2 years now, Facebook Live videos. It's been an amazing journey. It's been awesome. I got about 4,000 followers on Facebook. So, I mean, nothing huge, but we're trucking along. We're trucking along with it. I am a recovering meth addict. I use methamphetamine and about any other drug I can get my hands on for 13 years. I started when I was 17. Actually, I started with lighter drugs before that when I was around 14, 13, 14 years old. And then it progressed into a meth addiction that took me down for 13 years. If you've seen my last videos on YouTube, you've noticed that I got teeth since I've been gone. So I'm glad to have received so many blessings in my life, guys. I started making videos and reaching out and helping other people after about a year in recovery. My first year plus, a little over a year in recovery, was a lull period, I will call it. I worked a regular job. I didn't really do any giving back. I hadn't really made any big amends. I hadn't really done anything huge with my recovery. I was just kind of stagnant, sitting in recovery. Sitting clean. I wasn't sitting in recovery, I would say, because I wasn't pushing for better. And then in 2018, May of 2018, my father passed away. And when my dad passed away, it was a huge wake-up call for me to make recovery my life, to actually start pushing for a better tomorrow and actually start helping other people. I want other people's families to realize the same freedom that my family has realized since I've been in recovery. I want to share that love with other people. So I started a Facebook page and I started making videos and I started speaking. I've done plenty of speaking engagements. Let's start way back. I did a free show at a library here in the town, just to get myself started. I made a quick bio and I went to the library, asked if I could speak there. They said sure, and I did a little presentation. It was terrible. I pretty much got up there and read a bunch of facts about addiction and about people that are in recovery. I didn't have much to talk about, really. And then at the end, I did a little Q&A, and everybody that came, all of their questions, they didn't have a single question about any of the statistics that I said or none of that. They wanted to know about me. They wanted to know more about the 13 years that I was on meth. They wanted to know more about the struggles of being in recovery. They wanted to hear about my family. So that was my first sign that I was like, okay, so people don't care about numbers. The numbers are important. Some of the numbers are important, and I still left some of them in. But I decided at that point that I needed to make it more about me. People wanted to know about me. They wanted to hear my story. So the next presentation I did was at the University of Wisconsin in Whitewater. I live in Whitewater, Wisconsin, so it was an easy opportunity for me there to speak at a college. So I went and spoke at the college, and this was to a Christian group at this college. So I geared it more towards my story and how I found my way to being a religious person, because I went from an atheist to a Christian. So I thought that'd be pretty interesting to tell them how I made that transition. So I went to the college and I spoke on that. And when I did that, that was when people really, I had those kids just locked in on me the whole time telling my story. But I took it a little too far. See, I went past the climax of my testimony that I have now, that is the finishing hit, it is the final touch on my testimony. I went past that when I told my testimony at the college, and I continued on and told them a little more. And I realized and then I kind of got to the end and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's all I have to share. Thank you. And, and it was it didn't really have a clear-cut ending. It didn't come to everybody applauds now kind of moment. So that took my next step in revamping. I put an ending on my testimony. Wayne says, how long have you been sober for? Since February 3rd, 2017, my man. Thanks for that question. Right on. I'm sorry if I forgot to disclose that in the beginning. Coming up on 3 years of recovery. Woo! I am so pumped. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. That's when I put a final, I realized that I needed an ending, a clear-cut ending on my presentation. So I put a clear-cut ending into it. And really, that was the final, like, the third time I did it, the third, fourth, and fifth time I did my presentation. I did them at high schools up in the Northwoods where I'm from. I went back to the area where I used, and I spoke at all the high schools in the area. And it has been just an amazing journey ever since. Everybody loved it. I mean, I still get messages from kids that seen my presentation at the high school that are doing awesome in their life now. Like, I'm impacting people. Shockingly, I'm impacting people. My life, it's hard for me to see myself as such an inspiration. People tell me I'm an inspiration. People tell me I've helped them in so many ways, but it's hard to see the label on the bottle from inside the bottle. I don't see myself as an inspiration. To me, this has just been the natural progression. But lately, honestly, if I'm honest about it, lately I have had a huge, like, a realization of everything. I mean, I've been really focused on how much I have changed in my life and the huge leaps that I have made. It's just become very apparent to me as of recent. So I've been going through a huge, huge change of mindset, I guess, lately, to a more of a grateful and gratitude-filled attitude. And it's been a wonderful ride. This whole journey through recovery has been a beautiful ride. And this, being a motivational speaker and making videos on Facebook and now on YouTube, has given me a reason for all of that chaos. It's given me a reason for all of the nonsense I went through, because I went through that for a reason, so that I could be here to speak on this and be here and help people that have been where I have been. I can help them out of that pit, because I know what it feels like to be lost. I know what it feels like to feel completely alone. I know how it feels to be broken. So this is my way of giving back. And it started an even bigger mission for me. Before I started The Point of Change, I was in quite a few recovery groups on Facebook, and I was making posts in them. I wasn't making anything. I didn't have a page. I didn't do anything like I do now. But my best friend bought a motorcycle, and when he bought this motorcycle, we went to pick it up, and the guy's daughter that he was buying the motorcycle from, she was in the window, and she was talking to me, and I had horrible meth mouth. We're talking all of my top teeth were rotted right down to the gums, just brown, broken, looked like a mouthful of raisins. And I'm talking to this little girl, and as soon as I started to talk, her eyes went bloop, and she looked right at my mouth. And she said, "What happened to your tooth?" And I kind of chuckled, and I said, well, I was naughty, and they ran away. And she said, "They ran away?" I said, "Yeah, they ran away." She said, "Are they going to come back?" I said, "No, honey, they're not going to come back. I got to buy all new ones." And I made a post out of that in an addiction group that I was in, and just said, the moral of the story, guys, is just stay humble. Like, this little girl had no idea that I had a horrible meth addiction. She had no idea that I'm really sensitive about my teeth. She just knows that there's a full-grown man standing in front of her who has less teeth than she does, and she wants answers about this, So that was all I said. I made this post about this in this addiction group, and I got a message the next day from a woman whom I still haven't met, but I got a message, and she said, "I'd like to help you get your teeth back." And that message stopped me in my tracks, and I said, "You have my full attention." And this was shortly after my father had passed away. I was in recovery. I was doing good, but I was at kind of a low spot as far as mental health goes. I was very depressed. But I was pushing through that depression very well, I will say for myself. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This woman tells me she'd like to help me get my teeth back. And I said, "Well, you have my undivided attention." And she asked me a few more questions of how long I've been clean and things like that. And then she said, I said, "Well, I don't know what you're willing to do. Whatever you can do, I'd be grateful for." And she said, "Just give me the name and number of your dentist." And I did. I gave her the information for the dentist. And the dentist called me up and tells me that this woman paid for my extractions, all of them, bought and paid for. Come and get them. And then I talked to her to thank her, and she said, just make me one promise. I'll pay for the extractions. You pay for the denture. But just make me the promise that you'll see this through, that you'll get the denture. And I said, I will promise you, I will get the denture. So I got the extractions done, and I had to wait 8 weeks for healing and then get my impressions made. And then you got to wait to get the denture. So I wait the 8 weeks, I go in, I get my impressions made, and I don't have the money, or I go in to get my impressions made and I don't have the money to get this done, and they're not going to do a payment plan. They're not going to allow this to happen. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting my denture yet. I'm still going to hold true to this promise, but I'm not going to get it now. And a week or so later, I get a call from the dentist again, and she says, hey, we need the information for that woman that paid for your extractions, because your insurance kicked in at your new job and they paid some money off of that bill, and we need to get a hold of her because we have some money to give to her. So I'm like, all right, cool. I give them the number, and they get a hold of her. She calls me and she says, Matt, did they tell you how much money they're going to send me back? I said, no, they didn't tell me any of that. She said, they're going to give me half of the money. Your insurance kicked in and paid 50% of your extractions, so they're going to give me half of that money back. And I said, wow, that's awesome. That's great. And she said, so here's what we're going to do. With your insurance coverage as it is now, that knocks the price of the denture down, of getting the denture made is knocked down now too. So we're going to take the money that they were going to send back to her. She says, that money's already gone. I've already written it off. I've decided that's gone. She said, I'm going to let them keep that money, and I'm going to send them $300 more, and we're going to get your denture made. Yes, thank you. Like, that's God right there, baby. That's God. Amen. Like, holy crap. God just sent an angel into my life. And I mean, it was shortly after my father passed away. And when my father was alive, man, when I needed something done, when I needed something in my life, my father was right there calling the people that were in charge of whatever I needed. Like when I would go to jail, because I was an active addict for 13 years, I was in and out of jail all the time. When I would go to jail, my dad was on that phone with my probation officer, with the jail, with everybody. When's Matthew getting out? What can you do for Matthew? Is he okay? What's going on in there? And then he passes away. And shortly after he passes away, all of a sudden, I mean, doors started flying open. And I know in my heart that my dad was up there like nudging God, like, hey, what can you do for Matthew down there? He needs a new job. You better get him a new job. Hey, get him some teeth. He's got to have some teeth. Is there some way you can send him an angel to get him some teeth? Like it was all too coincidental. The way things have fallen into place in my life was all way too coincidental. But that in itself, this woman doing this for me really reestablished a love for humanity inside of me. It really reestablished a connection, a love, a feeling of wanting to help people, and a feeling like I didn't want her giving to me to end there. I didn't want to end the chain of love with me. So it was shortly after that I started the Point of Change. I started speaking out against addiction. I started everything that I've started here because of this woman's generosity and reestablishing a love for humanity in me, and reestablishing a trust for mankind in me, and wanting to help people. So all of this started since then. And now my newest mission, this year, I am going to get this off the ground because this cannot wait any longer. I've decided to make that my mission, to give back what was so freely given to me. This year, I am going to be starting a nonprofit agency. Or nonprofit organization, whatever it is. I'm going to start one. And I'm going to start one that helps people in recovery get their teeth back. And I have already started my process of helping people do this through my own actions, but I want it to be on a grand scale. I want to help as many people as I can. So I am going to get my ass in gear, and this year I am going to get that off the ground. The Point of Change, Smile for a Change is what we named it. But yes, I'm going to start a nonprofit organization that will help people in recovery get their teeth back. I do not know the parameters of what you have to do to meet the criteria to get my help. We haven't established any of that yet. But I'm gonna work on that hardcore this year. I want to get that off the ground. I want to get that going. I have a speaking engagement coming up. Oh, I'm going to throw those up while I got some people here, guys. February 6th, reality tour at Ladysmith High School at 6:30 p.m. Now, for this one, yes, this sounds weird, but adults must be accompanied by a student. I know that's normally backwards. A student should be accompanied by an adult, but in this case, adults have to be accompanied by a student. I'm sorry. They know that I'm more of an adult-oriented entity, so they knew that I was going to draw a crowd of adults, but they just want you to know that this is a school thing. This is like a family thing, so you can't just, they don't want my whole fan base showing up without kids and stuff, So adults must be accompanied by a student on this day. Now, February 7th, 12 o'clock, making an impact with your clients. That's at the Ladysmith Library in Ladysmith, Wisconsin. It'll be a condensed version of my story and then a longer Q&A section. Now, this one is actually for medical professionals, people that work in the recovery field, people, nurses, doctors, things like that. If you want a chance to meet a recovering meth addict, hear a little bit of my story, talk to me, ask me some questions, but you have to register by either emailing this thing that's ticking along down here. You got to either call that number or email that and talk to the Rusk County Youth Council and get yourself registered to come. This is going to be a great event. I am excited for that one. Next, February 8th, 10:30 a.m., me and my mama at the Ladysmith Library. This is self-care in Rusk County. It's not just going to be me and my mother speaking. The Rusk County Youth Council has added a whole lot of other activities on that. So it will be 1 hour of my mother and I sharing our story of my addiction and my recovery and how both of those have changed and affected her life. I will be making some huge announcements at this, just so you guys know. If you're in the area and you want to come down and see me speak and meet me and meet my mom, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. And I'm going to make some huge announcements. I'm super excited for this. So, shh, my mom doesn't know. She's probably going to watch this. Oh, sorry. My camera's refocusing a little bit there. Sorry about that. Yes. All of those things that I was hired by the Rusk County Youth Council to put these on, to do these events for them or to speak for them. All of the money that I'm getting paid for doing this is going straight to somebody to help her get her teeth fixed. So I am super excited about that. I don't need the money. But if people are going to pay me to speak, I'm going to give it to people in recovery. We're going to take it, when it comes to money, I'll take everybody's money I can get and I'm going to put it right back into the recovery world. And we're going to make this world an amazing place. That's all I'm going to do with it. So, if they'll pay me to do it, I will give it away because I work a regular job. I have a regular job. My bills are paid. I'm doing good. So I don't need that money. So somebody else can have some teeth. It's going to be great though. I'm so excited about all of these things that are happening. And then I didn't make a thing for it, but May 16th in Merrill, Wisconsin, the Recovery Ribbon event at Diamond's Tattoo Shop, Inked Horizons in Merrill, Wisconsin. You guys got to be there. Holy crap, look at this lineup. I mean, Richie Weber and Chandalin, Drew Hicks, Higgy, Chicago Hope Dealers. There's more, and me. We're all going to be there. You guys have to be there. We're going to just blow the doors off his little tattoo shop, man. It's going to be great. Oh, we got all of you guys. I'm so sorry that I haven't been saying hello. I've been so busy introducing myself up here. Today is the YouTube debut. I am now streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook simultaneously, thanks to the power of StreamYard here. So we're crossing over, guys. I'm trying to broaden my horizons on widening my message. 2020, I've said 1,000 times, is going to be my year, so I really wanted to get this going and just, start doing more. There, I'll put my name down there, even though it's right here. Now it's down there too. This whole StreamYard thing is all relatively new to me, so I apologize if you're like, wow, this guy sucks. I'm sorry. I have only been doing this for about 2 years. I've been on Facebook Live for 2 years now. Cassie says, switching to YouTube. Not switching to YouTube. I am still on Facebook, dear. I will still be here. But this StreamYard gives me the opportunity to branch out. So this is a way to increase my reach because I do find that a lot of people that I talk to in the real world, when I tell them that I have a Facebook Live channel, they tell me they don't have a Facebook. They don't like Facebook. And I can't blame them not one bit for not liking Facebook. Facebook spreads so much drama and negativity in this world. There are so many times that I have thought about giving up my Facebook page just because of the negativity. So I could delete my profile, get rid of my page, get rid of Facebook, and come back to living in the real world sometimes. It just gets so caught up in all that. Facebook is not real, guys. Remember that. Facebook is not real. This is the real world. Let's live in the real world. Yes, this has been just you guys growing and learning and developing and working on my mental issues, and everything that I have accomplished in the past, coming up on 3 years of recovery now, has just been insanely awesome. Like, I don't care about things anymore. I don't care about activities anymore. I mean, I do. I still love to do things, and I still love to have things and stuff, and I have more than I've ever had in my life. I have my own place. I have my own car. I have my driver's license back. Like, everything you see here bought and paid for, like, just blessings, constant blessings in recovery, I'm telling you. And it just all blows my mind, guys. It all blows my mind. This whole thing blows my mind. Even just sitting here, just being alive right now, taking air, upright and taking air. I should be dead. I should be in a grave. By all accounts, I should be in a prison or I should be in a grave. But instead, God found a ransom for my soul and decided that I should live and that I should be here. And then the universe set up all of those things that we just talked about that are going to tell you that this is what I was meant to do right here, making videos, talking to people, sharing my love with people, sharing God's love, sharing my story and helping people, helping them on their journeys, because I didn't have anybody to help me on my journey. This has all been me. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I have had so much help on my journey. Like, this is not a one-man show up here, but it's so intensely insane to have gone from a guy who lived in his dad's basement smoking meth on the daily, surrounded by people who were losing constantly. We were losers. I was a loser. They were losers. I was surrounded by losers. We had a loser mentality, and together as a group, we lost. That's all we did. We would lose things. You'd lose money, lose your car, lose your job, lose your kids, lose your house, lose your respect, lose your love, lose everything, constantly losing. And now I'm surrounded by winners, and wow, it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that this is happening. Now I sit in front of this screen and broadcast myself across the internet, and everybody around me is winning. Like, we are constantly winning. I'm just doing better and better and better and better. I moved 4.5 hours away from where I grew up, where everybody I know, everything I know, everybody is there. And I moved away from all of that, moved down here, started a new life. And it's just been like I'm living a dream some days, man. I look at myself and I look at where I am and I look at what I'm doing and I'm like, wow, like, holy crap, it blows my mind. It really does. Even to any of the YouTubers that are watching, you watch those videos that I posted on YouTube a year ago, even that guy. I don't even know who that guy is, but he did awesome, didn't he? I like those videos. I like those videos that I posted. But holy crap, have I come a long ways from standing in my buddy's garage making videos in front of his camper and sleeping on his couch. And yeah, wow, I have come a long way. And it all blows my mind. It all blows my mind. But I just keep pushing on. I just keep trucking. I mean, and that wasn't even that long ago that I was staying on my buddy's couch. I mean, just a couple of years. It's amazing the turns your life can take in just a couple of years. So don't give up hope. If you're out there, if you're struggling, if you're on the grind and you're living on your buddy's couch or hurting and struggling and homeless or whatever it is, in just a couple of years that you could be sitting somewhere talking about how crazy it is that you lived like that. I mean, you can turn it all around. Just make the decision within yourself that you want to live and just wake up every day happy and excited and push for a better tomorrow. Push, push, push. Constantly be grinding, constantly be accepting opportunities and looking for opportunities, and know that they are not just coincidences, that these are signs. Listen to the signs. Listen to your gut instinct. When something is telling you that you need to do this or not to do this, whichever way it's telling you, like, don't ignore those signs, because I have in my past. I have ignored the signs. I've ignored the coincidences that I just said, that's just a coincidence, and didn't look at it as a true sign and walked away from it, and I've regretted it ever since. So don't always trust your gut and go with things, man. Go with it. Just rock. I'm telling you, this life is too short to sit stagnant. to not do anything, to not build, to not help people. It's too short. We got to do everything we can. We got to do everything we can. Tay says, I went from homeless to homeowner in 8 months of sobriety. Right on, Tay. That is badass. This is what growth looks like, my friend. Right on, Tay. You know, this whole change of everything that's going on in the point of change here. I mean, this is all just a reflection of what's happening inside of myself, guys. I know you guys, from where you're sitting on YouTube or on Facebook, you look at this screen and you see a guy with a banner and, you know, like, I mean, this looks pretty nice, right? I got my little stack of books. I got my banner. I got my little shelf. I got my whiteboard. This looks nice. But this is all just a reflection of what's happening inside of myself, of the change that has been occurring inside of myself, and of the growth that has been happening inside of myself, to go from having like nothing of my own, you know, nothing of my own, and making my videos like I was standing in my best friend's garage with a cooler, with a cardboard box stacked on top of that cooler, and my phone sitting in this holder sitting on top of the cardboard box. And that's how I started making videos. That's all I had. And I just started with what I had. I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait until I have everything that I need to start this. I'm going to start right now and I'll build it as I go. And that's exactly what I've done. And look where it's gotten. You know, it's gone from my buddy's garage to I had my own place and I'd made my videos in a closet. And now I have my own office in my, well, it's a house. I rent, but it's a house. I have my office in my house. Yeah. Just building, you know, constantly building. And, you know, most recently, my most recent speaking engagement, I spoke on the state capitol steps to over 2,000 people. Me, this guy, little Matt Jablonski, 13-year meth addict with 135 pounds, 5'4", little guy, standing on the steps of the state capitol, speaking to 2,000 people. I mean, anything you want to do in this world, guys, this world is your oyster. Do it. Just do it. Telling you, just do it. But it takes time, you know. None of this happened overnight. I didn't get as bad as I was overnight, and I'm not going to get better overnight. But none of this building or growing or developing the person you see today has been built by every single moment that I've gone through for the past coming up on 3 years. You know, it has been a molding process. It has been constantly living in transition, and it hasn't come without sacrifice, and it hasn't come without its moments of self-doubt. I've had so many times where I almost walked away from this making videos and walked away from everything. I've almost quit my regular jobs. You know, I've just, wow, you know, so many moments of self-doubt of who the hell am I? So much self-discovery has happened, because when you live a life like that for so long, and then but you underneath, you always wanted to be good, but you know, during it, it's just such a duality to have that in your mind and to think, you know, who's the real me? Is this the real me, or was that the real me? And it tears you apart. It really does. But that tearing apart is a good thing. It's got to happen. You have to tear away from your old self, and it's a painful process. Don't discount it. Don't think that it's going to be easy. This road to recovery and fixing what we did to ourselves is a long, slow, gradual process, and it is not a success-only process. You are going to fail now and then. You are going to fail on different levels too. It's not just about, you know, a slip, you know, relapsing or using again. It's not just about that. It's about, you know, failures on a daily basis that we learn from and we grow from and we build with, you know. Just build a new beautiful life on top of the wrecked ruins of what we left behind. But it's a beautiful process. It really is. I wouldn't take it back for a minute. I wouldn't trade a minute of it. Tay says, everyone's story is different, but mindset is everything. Grow your mind, grow your life. You've got to set goals and take action. You, my friend, are a perfect example of this. I'm going to put that up on the big screen, Tay. Oh, you're so pretty. My dog's name is Tay, by the way. Thank you guys for all tuning in, not just today, but for tuning into any of my videos, getting something from me, you know, taking a little something away from a meme or from a post or something else I shared or whatever is going on my page. Thank you for being there and listening and just making the decisions that you've made to come into recovery and live a better life. You know, I mean, You don't get thanked a lot. This is a thankless job. Fixing your life. It's a thankless job, but thank you for doing it. Oh, all right. Got a half an hour in, guys. I am going to let you go because maybe somebody will rewatch this. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in here today, and I will see you all soon on Facebook and on YouTube. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.